Well, good morning, everyone. I am going to take you through a crafting class, basically. I'm going to do it with clothing because it's one of the simplest. And I will show it to you from scratch. Just that one piece by piece. We'll go through very basics. Last time you saw this tune, she was a level 8. She was a level, I don't know, 4 or 5. I'm not sure. Maybe a little higher. She's been doing a little bit more. She went on a run of World Bosses in Cold Harbor last night, and also did the run with Rotach Friday night. And she is now a level 18 and is able to switch weapons. I have her as a dual wield and with a bow. So we've made some progress. Now, this is a costume. This is the Elven Hero costume. This is not her armor. I'm going to take it off just to show you so that you understand what's going on here, why she's a little bit chestier than I had thought I had made her. So I don't know. She's not what I expected. I don't think when she came out. Anyway, let me take off her costume so that you can see the mess she's wearing at the moment. And this is what happens when you are new. You get armor from a dolmen or a drop in a delve. Excuse me, my voice this morning. And so you get a mishmash for a while. And that's where costumes come in handy because you can tell if anybody's in this color green and looking like this, you know it's a newbie and they don't know what to do. And you kind of help them out as you go along. But in this case, I'd rather not be looking that way, so I'm going to go into collections, which is this icon up here, or the letter U takes you to your collections. And in here, I have costumes. You get some costumes from purchasing them in the Crown Store, others from achievements that you have earned. And I don't have too many. Well, there's, I think, from here we go. When you reach level 20, you get the Golden Saint. This one is Grim Harvester from Dragon Rise event. Now you can color these any way you want, and it doesn't cost anything at the outfit station. It doesn't cost to color your armor or to color costumes. If you do an outfit, then yes, it will. I kind of like this one actually. I think I'll keep that one on her. Um, kind of gets expensive if you start doing outfits. Some people are really into them, but I am not as creative as most people. So anyway, okay, let's start out. This is crafting. We're going to start with clothing. This is in Auradon. Let me show you where the map is. This is one of the starting areas when your second stop in your journey here in Tamriel, and we are in the town of Volkelgard. I have this little white house is my free little room at the public house, and as you can see, we are over here, and this is the crafting area. This is where I first started to craft, and way back when, and this is how I had met Rotach, was here on the corner on the opposite side of the crafting stations. Anyway, let's go and see what happens when we go to the board to this is the equipment crafting writs. There's another board on the other side, which is the consumables, and you can see by the legends at the top of the board that it is for clothing, blacksmithing, woodworking, and I think that's the jewelry symbol. Yeah, I think it is. Yes, it should be. Okay, so we're going to take this black arrow. It says that there's a quest here. So you have to get a certification in crafting in order to do writs. And writs is one of the best ways to get gold in the game. If you do them daily, your gold can add up quickly. If you have multiple tunes, it's even more. But it can be time consuming. Okay, so we're going to open this up. And it says Equipment Crafting Writs. You've noticed a promised handbill on the requisition board. King Emeric offers greetings. Masters of the craft await you in Daggerfall. I'm in the wrong place. I am a Daggerfall Covenant Alliance toon, so we can't do it here. We've got to go to Daggerfall to do it. Free training for all new to their craft. Certification for accomplished crafters, all at no cost to you, citizen. Oh, fine print. Let's see what the fine print says. Unskilled crafters will be certified after a brief training. Skilled crafters will be certified immediately. The crafters shall charge no fee for certification. Certification is mandatory to fulfill crafting writs. In other words, if you've been crafting and you haven't done this yet, that's fine. You can go and do this quest and you'll go right through it, because you already probably have the mats on you that you need for the quest, and the items needed to craft. So you can do it quickly if you've already done that. This girl has done nothing. I wanted to take you through it from the beginning. Interested parties should seek Milanese at the Fighters Guild for blacksmithing, clothier, and woodworking certification. Speak to Daniel Teleno at the Mages Guild for provisioning, enchanter, and alchemist certifications. Now, and take this handbill. So we take it. So you've got in the upper right-hand corner of our screen shows who you need to speak to in order to get the crafting certification. Now, here, if you were Aldemir Dominion, you would have the people here that would do this for you. But the fact that this toon is not, I'm going to take you to Daggerfall. And that was one of the most confusing things for me in the very beginning. And that's why I did it this way, because I was looking all over the place. I didn't know where I was supposed to be, what I was supposed to do, and it just became crazy. Okay, so we're going to go to one of my houses, which is in one of the free ones that I got, which is the Rosy Lion Inn in Glenumbra. And as you can see, it's this little white house, and it's right next to the Way Shrine. And if I were to go to the Way Shrine from here, it would cost me 86 gold, whereas going to my room, it doesn't cost me anything. So there are advantages to having the rooms that you can get throughout. And I've got to look that up. I'm going to do a thing on that for you as well, because there's certain ones that you can get and a certain number of them. And off the top of my head, I can't remember. Now, the Rosy Lion Inn room is not this big. And it's not, you can't get this much stuff in it. So don't expect this when we get there. I have usually in my little rooms, I have a bed. I have my merchants on the bed, and a desk. And I keep two storage here, the blueprints and the recipes, because that's usually my most commonly used chests. Okay, so see, I've got my merchant, my banker, a desk, and a stool that I can sit on if this is where I'm going to spend some time. Anyway, okay, let's go on outside. We're in Glenumbra, and we're going to go to into the town of Daggerfall. I'm sorry, I've got so much phlegm. I don't know what's going on here. We did have the winds kick up a couple days ago, and I was out working in the yard and stuff, so I'm sure that's what it is. My sinuses get affected by the wind. Too much information. Sorry, guys. Oh, shoot. Load screens seem to be a little slow during this time because bandwidth, I think, has been taken down a bit due to the number of people that are on.
Who wouldn't want such a cozy little home?
I think this is the girl for the rooms, but...
You have a look about you.
But,
no,
maybe not. I am not going to talk to her. She's a quest hanging out here in the inn. And that's the door you go in for your room. And there is just so you know, there is a cooking fire. Oops. There is a cooking fire here. We'll get into provisioning later on. And there are people, guys at the brewer and the cook chef at the bar where you can purchase recipes and ingredients, that sort of thing. If you're looking for a recipe, the best place to go sometimes is to a chef. Okay, here's the Rosy Lion Inn. Here's the Way Shrine behind the building. This is where I am right at the moment, and we are going to go over here. We'll be going up here, and right in this area, there's the bank, and then all of tradespeople and the crafting stations. So we're going to go right here. I'm going to put a mark on there. Sometimes it really helps if you don't know where you're going and you've never been in this town. It's good to put a wherever you're going. And I just saw this white arrow.
I heard that Dominion soldiers
That's who we need to
landed
speak
at
to
Farwatch.
in front of the Fighters Guild
Can you tell
about
me
the
anything
clothing
else?
certification. So she's just around the
Not
corner.
much. The elves landed, and there's been fighting throughout
Let's
the
go
area.
this way.
My daughter is stationed there. I hope she's all right.
This is the Fighters Guild, which getting the Fighters Guild quest line is pretty important. There's lots of skills in the Fighters Guild. And if you want the Magicka side of it, this is the Mages Guild. Same thing. There's a skill line for the Mages Guild. And one day I'll take you through that with this girl as well, both of them. Okay, here we are.
You here for crafting certification? Don't worry, there's no cost involved. Your alliance covers all my fees. Once
Okay,
you're
yes, I
certified,
want the notice
you'll let me
how...
fulfill the crafting
Oops,
rigs.
sorry.
Everyone wins.
Yes, I saw the notice. How do the
They're
crafting
daily
writs
requests for
work?
crafted goods, but they're only available to certified crafters. If you can show me you know your craft, I'll get you certified.
All right, tell me how this works.
I can train and certify blacksmiths, clothiers, and woodworkers. If that sounds like something you'd want, we can get started.
You can go in here and get more information about the different crafts.
Of course. What do you want to know?
What do clothiers make?
Cloth and leather goods. The crafting writs want pieces of light cloth armor or medium leather armor, so that's what I certify.
Okay, now, I've got it, or you can listen to the additional items for blacksmithing and woodworking. Or if you have the items, you know you've done it, you can hit all right, I'm ready for my certification. But we're just going to go here. All right, I've got it.
Have you spoken with Danel Teleno? He handles certification and training for provisioning, enchanting, and alchemy. He's a bit stuffy, but he knows what he's doing.
I'm going to stick at this point that I want her to certify me because we're going to go just for clothier.
Excellent. We can get started whenever you're ready.
Ooh, and I get gold for doing it. That's a quest. We just completed the
Let
quest.
me know if you have some time. I can train and certify you in something else.
Okay, goodbye. Now, why didn't we get the quest? Hold on a second. Let's go back and
Let
talk
me
to
know
her.
if you have some time. I can train and certify you in something else. If you convince me you know how to use a needle
Oh,
and thread,
I missed this.
I'll certify you.
I'm
However,
sorry.
you must commit. I can't certify two things at once.
Okay, clothier.
Show me you can craft a pair of homespun gloves. First, you'll collect some raw jute, then return here and refine it. Finally, you'll use refined jute to make the gloves.
You'll certify me if I can craft homespun gloves?
Of course. It was the first trade I studied. I'm happy to certify anyone familiar with a clothing station. Now run forth and bring me a pile of raw jute.
Where can I find raw
I
jute?
spotted some raw jute growing on the outskirts of town. You might as well harvest it yourself. Should that not be enough, you'll have to search elsewhere.
I'll return with the jute. Okay, now in the upper right-hand corner, we're supposed to find 10. I already have 9 in my craft bag. Sorry, guys. I meant to do this without having anything, but I guess I was farming while we were doing world bosses last night. Okay, let's look at our map. Outside of town, here's a circle that shows where all of the jute is, if you don't have it already. So we're going to go through town. We're going to...
The Watch is looking into a series of
do this. I'm going to show you. We're going to go through town. And I'll try and explain what we're doing as we go. I'll run. I get to know a town a little bit better in the very beginning if I run it. That's just me riding by on a horse, a little fast, and I don't pay attention to where I'm going. So I will usually run it in the beginning. And that was one of the other things that Rotach noticed was this. He thought I was lost running and whispered to me. So anyway, it was fun. We're going to go outside of town. This is the gate outside town. There's another stable to the left. And there are stairs here. We're going to go down these stairs. As you can see, the white arrows, we are now in the green circle where they're telling us to go. And there are the white arrows to go find Jute. And there's arrows above all of them. Now, this one's going to complete the quest for me. See, it says go talk, but I'm going to go get the rest of this because you can never have too much in crafting materials, especially when you're starting out in the beginning. If you see something, take it if you've got ESO Plus, because it's important to just always have them on hand. You'll get into it. You'll be looking for things like I don't know, basic, like jute. Oh my gosh, I need to find one jute, and you've got to go running around trying to find it. Okay, so back we go to talk to her. This is, when I get up here, I'll pull it up on the map for you. First of all, this is one of the RIT boards in Daggerfall. And the other one is over here. Everything's kind of centrally located. That place over there has jewelry, provisioning, because there's a cooking fire in there, and enchanting. This building here has blacksmithing and clothing. We'll be going in there. And then this is the bank. And you've got church. And down the hill down here is where you have woodworking and alchemy. In this building that has the paddle wheel over here. Which is here. Oh, something that kind of get used to doing, and I might as well do it while we're here, is going to a merchant.
A tidy shop is a problem.
And see, I did a lot of work last night in Cold Harbor, and I have damaged my armor. Let me show you what that looks like. Over here you can see how the green line is down in my armor. I would not be ready to going anywhere. Weapons are a little different. That one's down, and you charge that with soul gems. But here you want a merchant to repair your armor. So we're going to talk to her again.
A tidy shop is a
Go into the store merchant, and you can buy and sell items from a merchant. But here, all we're going to do is repair. 220. And up here in the upper right corner, it tells you as it's repairing what it's doing to your armor. And you can run and go on. Oh, where is she? We have to talk to her. I didn't look at the map. Ah! She's behind us. She's back in the square. Back that where I showed you all the crafting stations. I wasn't paying attention. I thought she would still be outside the Fighters Guild. It's been a long time since I've done this one. Daggerfall's kind of a cool place. I like it here. Feels all kind of like home. Okay, where is she? Is she inside the building? She's in here. She's standing by the clothing table. See, this is your clothing station. And here she is. Let's see what she says.
Search grassy areas in the wilderness for raw jute. You should find enough if you look around.
I have the jute here.
Raw jute is plentiful if you know where to look. Just don't chew on it. It can really do a number on your... Well, just don't chew on it. Head to the clothing station and craft a pair of homespun gloves. You shouldn't need much refined jute. Don't forget the style material. You can purchase them from any clothier or scavenge them yourself. Every race has a traditional material they work into their weapons and armor. For example, the Imperial style material is nickel. I should know. Every day in the Legion camps, I worked a pile of it.
What style material do I need?
The Red Guard style material is star metal. Try working with that.
How do I learn other racial styles?
You can learn how to craft with another race's style material by studying racial motif books. They're quite rare, mostly held by collectors, so watch for them in your travels.
The basic ones you find pretty easily, but it is something you need to keep an eye out. If you're going to craft, you want to be able to learn the different styles. Here, I'll show you on the table. It gives you a tutorial when you go in the first time. I'll point things out to you. Over here are different, I'm going to tell you every time, different not drop-downs, but different menus for doing different things. So, we're going to start with refining. This is what, you have to have 10 items of raw material to make your material that you need for crafting. So as you are in your travels and you're collecting stuff, you will collect all these different raw materials. And here's our raw jute that I've collected. I have 21 of them. If I click on it, it puts it down here to refine it. And R refines it. And this was an improvement just recently in the game. It used to be that every 10 you had to click, click, click. It was very annoying. So if you put in 200 or 500, you do it in one click. So it's not that big a deal. I'll go through here. Well, I'll leave those in. So then we go to the creation, and we're going to make home style gloves. This, we only have one thing, apparel, that we are going to be crafting in clothing. You can change the menu to show items that you have the knowledge, or things that you only have items for. So we're going to make it simple and just do the one that we have knowledge for, which here are all the different pieces of clothing along here that you want to style. Now, as you're going through here, see this right here under shoulders. This is Red Guard. That's the style we're working with, is Red Guard. And it is a medium Red Guard, medium armor. There is light, medium, and heavy. And depending on your build, it depends on what you want. Usually you'll find that your mages, your healers are light material. Medium, your DPS, that sort of thing, and then sometimes you'll want different types of armor, maybe a collection of medium and heavy. Depends on the build. It's a whole different thing. So I'm not going to get into that now. But we are to make, let me go back here and confirm, we are making gloves. Now, see, that's me. That's my dysfunction sometimes, is trying to remember everything. So up in the upper right-hand corner, it's telling us to craft one homespun glove. Go back into the table. Here's the jute. Now, if you up the number of items that material that you're using, your level goes up. So you can at this level with jute, you can create armor that starts at level 1, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and that's it. You can only go up to level 14. So I couldn't even do armor for myself at this point because I'm an 18. I could wear lower level armor, but it's useless. Okay, and as you go up, notice that the number of jute required goes up. So we're only going to do level 1 because she doesn't need more than that. And she said the style she wanted was to do it in Redguard. Star metal, which you pick out when you're farming, you get it all over the place. You can also purchase it from someone here in a merchant here in the store, right where we're at. There are a ton of different styles. This one only knows 2. You can purchase mimic stones if you don't have the material. There are mimic stones at the Crown Store. I don't use them very often. You can see I have 43 of them. I just received them in packages and stuff. At this point, we have no traits. You have to research armor to learn a trait, which there are 9 traits, and they all do different things. We'll get to that when we get to the point where we can look at what the traits are. So we're going to craft a pair of gloves in jute, only at level 1, in the Redguard style. The other style I have here is High Elf, but we're not going to do that. We're going to do Redguard because that's what she suggested. So we craft one by Amy R. Homespun gloves. Now this is light Redguard. There's your damage level, and it's level 1, and we received 1 set of gloves. Now you can go to J and go to your crafting, and it's now telling you talk to Milaneth. Or up here in the right hand corner, it will tell you talk to Milaneth. I can see there was a hint here, but there she is. But let's go over here. See this guy with the white arrow? He's a merchant in here.
Malak's jawbone. Needled myself again.
It'll tell you exactly what a clothier does, but we've been through that. But here's his store. And he sells all the different, he sells the basic styles. Now you don't have enough gold. You can, once you become a certified clothier, you can purchase, oh, you have to have the master, I'm sorry. It requires the master clothier achievement to purchase the sign for 5,000 gold that you can hang in your home. Okay, and then these are some more of the styles, and it tells you what they are. Orc, Breton, Khajiit, Nickel, Dark Elf. And these are pretty plentiful, Star Metal. Pretty plentiful when you're out. These are the basics, so you find them pretty easily. So we're going to go over here. We didn't need to talk to him. I can explain it, but let's talk to her.
Craft a pair of homespun gloves. You'll need refined jute and a style material. Clothiers sell those if you can't find any yourself.
Okay, so we come back. I have the gloves right
You know,
here.
I'm a master clothier, yet I still own a pair of homespun gloves. They keep my hands warm at night. Sometimes simple is better.
Okay, I'm ready for the next step.
Wonderful. Now for deconstruction. There's much to learn from breaking down your own work, even more so with someone else's creation. Head to a clothing station and deconstruct your gloves. Or anything else, really. Just be sure you do it there. You'll regain some components, of course, but the real trick is to deconstruct another crafter's work. You can learn far more by disassembling someone else's material than your own. It's a fancy way to say take something apart. The term originally came from Altmer poetry critiques. High elves consider their physical crafts to be forms of poetry, so it stuck. You can't know what a sword is, only what it's not, and so forth.
Okay. So we go back to the clothing table. And we go on to the next tab, which is deconstruct. And these are items that you can deconstruct. Now, this little magnifying glass, as you can see, says you can research. And that's one of the next steps. So I'm not going to deconstruct these items because we need to research it. This one is for sturdy, well-fitted, and sturdy. Okay, what I'll do is I will deconstruct 2 of these so you see what comes out of the different types. When you research, you don't need to have something that is a blue, which is, I can't remember, fine. No, green, then blue, then purple, then gold. That's the way it goes. You do not need to have them with improvements like this. Just white is fine for researching. Okay, so we're going to double click. No, it's now a single click. That's the thing that they've changed here. The gloves go down here, and we're going to deconstruct. And we got jute and star metal when we deconstructed it. We've completed it. But let me go ahead and show you what you can get. I want to make sure I'm not deconning something I really want to keep. Probably not. Let's do this. Let's put this in the decon. And see, this piece has enchantments on it. It has, which is another whole step to this process, but it gives you maximum health enchantment where it adds 183 maximum health. Plus it has the sturdy trait, which reduces the cost of a block by 2.5%. So it has been given a trait, it has an enchantment on it, and it's green, which means it's been improved. So there's 3 things that you can do to a piece of armor to make it better. In this case, we're going to decon this one. And we got obsidian out of it. I was hoping that we'd get a little bit more, but just the style came out, or the trait came out. Let's do another one and see what happens. Quartz out of that one. Decon this one. Oh, can't see because we hit rank 2. Okay, which your rank in crafting shows here. We're rank 2 in clothing. You go up to 50. And these are the passive abilities that you want to start opening up as you go along. In this one, we've gotten, which it allows us to use jute and rawhide. Those are 2 different items that we can craft with. Keen eye. Now there will be a plus that comes up over here if you have any, when you're ready for it, when you have your skill points, which are your sky shards. So that's where you take your points from your sky shards and put them in where you need them. Like under class, I've done them for my weapon. My dual has these up and going. It's taken a sky shard to get them going. And my bow, I've only had 1, but it's very important in everything here if you have passives to get all your passives going, because they will do for you additional items that you don't have to use. It's automatically there as you're fighting or crafting or whatever. Such as this. This is a passive for clothing. It's going to take 3 sky shards to get to the max, but what happens is when you're out in the world running around, the items for clothing will light up, like the jute. It will have a little bit of light to it so you can see it easier. When we're out there, I just happen to know what jute looks like, and so I would go for it. But as you go along, it makes it much easier to find it if you have keen eye. Hireling, this is also another one that's a real must, because you get items without having to farm. Let me see, it comes in your mail. Here we go. I've got blacksmithing comes in daily on all of my crafting items. I have them so they come into me daily. Here I'm getting weapon trait, blacksmithing material, and a raw material for blacksmithing. So what this hireling is sending to me are items I need for blacksmithing. So you just take the attachment, it puts it into your crafting bag, and then you delete the mail. Delete it. Here's raw woodworking. I've got these items that are coming to me without any problem. And delete,
Damn dog
delete.
keeps approaching me.
Okay,
I think it wants me
so
to
that
follow it.
is
The dog probably wants a handout. Like half the peasants in the city.
in the skills line
At least a dog won't bite the hand that feeds
under
it.
crafting. That is hireling. And then as you go along, like tailoring, it's going to, as you go up to 10, it gets you to the point where you can craft every style, every material. This one improves the chances of extracting clothing and allows the refining of more powerful items from raw material, so that helps your crafting go up. By the way, when I deconned with this tune, she has nothing here, and that's why we got very little. When I take my crafter out and my number 1 tune, who is 50 and everything, you get all kinds of stuff from when you decon, which is how you can also replenish your crafting materials. Stitching is another one that allows you to reduce your research time. We'll get into that later. And this one increases your chances of improving an item. That's your going from white to green, from green to blue, from blue to purple, purple to gold. The strength of your armor, basically. Okay, now let's talk to her. And where did you go? Sorry, my mouse sometimes gets a little, it's probably me, but it's a little crazy.
More than capable with needle and thread. I'll be proud to call you my colleague.
Okay, you're ready to be certified as a clothier.
Already done. You'll now be able to fulfill clothier crafting writs, and I look forward to seeing more of your work.
We got a clothing item. This item, hemming, is something that helps you to increase quality from normal to fine. You got 96 gold and inspiration, which brings up your crafting level. So we're going to complete the
Let
quest.
me know if you have some time.
We're going to go on. We'll come back to this later. So we are going to go to the board and show you how to do a writ. And then we'll stop at that point with Crafting 101. You have the basics at that point. Okay, you notice a prominent handbill on the requisition board. Certified crafters, we want your wares, armor, weapons, bows, jewelry, and robes. Hone your craft and earn a reward. Examine the clothier writ. Okay, pull it from the board, and what happens is, you can see it's gone in the upper right-hand corner, where crafting is, where quests are shown. And if you go into the quest journal, which is J or this book, see where it says journal in the upper right-hand corner, or J, if you just hit the letter J, it makes it quicker. Because otherwise you have to go to I, and then, anyway, to bring this up. Because when you hit your inventory key, which is I, it brings this menu up. Okay. Now, this is your writ. What you need to do is craft homespun shoes, 1 pair, homespun hat, 1 hat, and 1 sash. So, we're going to go to the clothier table, where we just were. And we want shoes, hat, and sash. Now we're going to create. So we want shoes, just level 1. Don't have to make anything outrageous, but you do have to put a style with it. And since I have, I don't like to give up my star medal. I don't know why. I think it's a little harder to find than some of these. I could be wrong, but that's just the way I feel about it. Anyway, we'll do the high elf. And besides, she's a red guard. I don't want to, if I'm going to do something for her, I don't want to use this up as much. So we will create it with the adamantite. Oh, I'm terrible. Some of the words you have to, in this game are unbelievable. So we'll just use a high elf high elf style. Now see, here's what the shoes basically will look like. If I was doing Redguard, that's basically what they'll look like. Okay, so that's the high elf. No trait at this point. We have no traits. We don't have the ability to put traits on yet. So we're just going to craft 1 shoes. What was it? Shoes, hat, and sash, I think. See? Hat. All this remains. All you have to do is find the item here. And sash. Now, we only need 1. But if you wanted to do several pair, you could do it that way. The max is 36 that you can do at this point with what you have, apparently. Okay. Oh, and I guess you can buy clothing, crafting items here. Let me take a look. Ah, it takes you to the crown store if you need mimic or whatever. But if you need items, you've got the guys here in the store that can sell to you. So, we now have telling us it needs to go to the delivery station. Let's go down there. I think I've showed this to you in another video, but we'll go now and then we'll be done. And it's raining. Okay.
Do you know how long I've been looking for you?
Let me show you on the map what it looks like. Where are we? Here it is. Here's the arrow. We're going down to the docks. That, in Daggerfall, that's where you turn it in. Let's get rid of this thing since we're not going there anymore. Oh, please. Get rid. Oh. Not. There we go. Sorry. I had to press the F key several times to get rid of it. Makes sense that you would deliver these writs to the dock because that's where they probably would load them on the boats to take to other parts of Tamriel. See those boxes down there on the dock? As we get closer, the arrows will appear, showing that that's where the arrow will appear, showing where we turn it in. Oops. Okay, clothier delivery crate. They will have arrows. All of them are here for delivery, but we're only doing clothier right now. Crate contains ample space for deliveries and a sheaf of manifest papers. Place the goods within the crate. Okay, so you've finished it. You've gotten inspiration, which helps to raise your crafting abilities. You've got a clothier's satchel and an anniversary box because the anniversary event is going on now. And 389 gold. Complete the quest.
I hear the roads aren't safe. Good thing your
Now, I'm going
progress
to take my
travels
horse.
by
We're going to go to
sea.
the bank. I'm going to show you. Oh, horse is slow. If you hit your shift key, you'll go faster. Which helps in the beginning because we have only got 3% out of 60% speed on this horse.
Do you know
And
how long
absolutely no stamina. So if you're doing quests out in the wild and you get pulled off your horse, you'll know why. Best thing to do is just run. Because you can't get back on your horse if you're in combat. Running is the best ability. Oh, see, I'm slowing down because my stamina was going down. Okay, this is the bank. This is the Bank of Daggerfall. Now, you saw in my house that I have my merchant and a bank. Well, in the beginning, you don't have that ability unless you've got, you know, crowns to spend. But to start out, it's kind of good to go to the bank yourself and figure this out. I know that she is down here. She's been here a very long time. She's a very hard worker. Angie Stower.
Welcome to the
Now we
Bank
have
of
your personal
Daggerfall.
bank, and if you're in a guild, you would have the guild bank and the guild store. But we're going to go into our bank right now. This is your bank where you keep all of your inventory. Not the inventory that's on you, on your toon that you're carrying around in your backpack, but in your bank. Now this is everything that you have in your bank. I am one that likes to go by category when I go through here because it just makes it easier for me to categorize stuff. I have a lot of stuff locked down for my higher toons. If I've gotten something through some sort of a special battle or something, I haven't looked at them yet. These are a couple of weapons that I created myself that actually have their gold, but not being used on this one yet because you have to be a level 50 and have 150 CP points to use it. So anyway, this is all stuff that I'm saving, and you can right click and either withdraw, unlock, takes the lock away. But man, I lock stuff down because I have made some bad mistakes and deconned items that did not, or sold. Selling's not so bad because you can buy it back right then if you've realized you've sold it in error. But deconning it, can't get it back. So you can withdraw, unlock, link in chat, which is kind of cool because you can show somebody what kind of armor you have by linking it in chat, or get help. So jewelry, these are also locked down in here. And then consumables. Now, here are crafting motifs. And I will be using these for her as we go along. I'm not going to pull them out just yet. Food is another whole thing we can talk about. And these are all consumables, recipes for provisioning, that sort of thing. Materials. If you did not have ESO Plus, you would have your materials would show here, like your star metal and your jute and all of that. But since I have the craft bag, and if you're going to be serious about crafting, I can't say enough, that's the biggest plus for having ESO Plus, is if you want to craft, because you're unlimited with the amount that you can carry. Furnishings, here's furnishings that I have that are just sitting out there waiting to be used in a house. And then miscellaneous, where I have surveys, which is the way you get raw materials really well. If you're crafting, you'll get surveys, and you go out in the wild and find these survey sites, and you get plenty of there's usually 6 nodes and 10, 20 items within a node. We also have treasure maps, which is something else you can do. Go out there and search for treasure maps. And everything else that's in here, you'll learn as we go along. And junk. You can put things in junk where you don't want to clutter up looking at it every time. So that you... What is this? Level 50. An old helm with a maker's mark from Mongol Stronghold. Too better to wear. Okay, so it's truly junk and not worth any gold. I don't know why it's here. And a disguise that was used in a quest. This was part of a quest, a uniform, and another disguise that was used in a quest. But now this one is I don't know why I have the Pledge of Mara. It must have been given in a promotion or something, because you normally have to buy it in the Crown Store. And you can get married in the game is basically what this is. And if you take the Pledge of Mara with another toon, any time that you are adventuring together, you get 10% more experience. And there's a little ceremony you go through, and there's different places to do it, that sort of thing. Inventory space that's on me in my backpack that's with me. I have 38 of 75 used up. bank space, now I've maxed out on my account. I have 480 and 430 spaces are used. So I'm getting kind of tight. I have 500, 301 gold on me. I put that there because I figured out to train your horse to get to 60% is 15,000 gold. So I carry a bunch around with me. And then this is how much I have account-wise, how much I have in the bank. So the total of these two plus what else is on my tunes is what I have. Now, you can deposit into the bank, which is the other thing you can do. And you can deposit any of these items into the bank. But let me show you what we received for your clothier writ. It's a consumable. Here's your clothier satchel that was given to you when you finished the quest. So you open it up and you get items back. You got some breeches. You got, which would be, it's with the intricate on there. It might be a good one to hang on to because you can probably research it. And then a crate of materials for cloth. I'll show you that as well. Okay, so we're going to take everything here. In the craft bag, this is ESO Plus craft bag. This is everything I've gotten recently. Here is that sapphire that I just got. Here's that hemming that I just got. And these are things that I've picked up recently that have the asterisks. And then here's everything else in my craft bag. And as you can see, you have a ton. I mean, I have hundreds and thousands of some items. And of course, they break it down according to craft as well. Okay, back here. Oh, this little symbol means you stole it. We'll get into that. So what I did is I opened that clothier thing. Here we go. And there was a shipment of cloth. So I can open that crate. And I got 20 jute and 5 flax. So that's another way to collect your style materials, is when you're doing your writs and your gold. So I think I will leave it at that. And if you have any questions, send me a message through the stream or reach me on game as Madam711. I will talk to you guys later and have a good day.